Become a Sublimation Master with the Sublimation Masterclass presented by Heat Press Nation. This online course contains over 8 hours of exclusive content packed with valuable information and zero fluff. In this masterclass, you're going to learn how to select the right equipment, receive thorough instruction on relevant products and processes, and gain valuable business insight. With your purchase, you'll have unlimited access to our exceptional lessons and demos, which are developed and curated by industry professionals with years of experience. This exclusive Sublimation Masterclass is available for $500, but is included for free with select Sawgrass printer bundles available at heatpressnation.com. For more information, visit heatpressnation.com/Sublimation Masterclass. Hello, everybody. Thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of Heat Press Nation Live. I am pumped about today's episode because today we are talking about sublimation exclusively. That's it. Everything today is going to be about sublimation, and not just about sublimation, but about a brand that I really feel is just super underappreciated in the sublimation world. Now, before we dive in any deeper, I want to welcome you. I want to say hello and give some shout outs. So if you're tuning in, do me a favor. I have you guys right here. Bargain Effect says hello. Ramon says woo. Ramon is stoked today. Good to see you, sir. And then D says hello to Jared and everyone. Well, hello. Thanks for joining us. Do me a favor if you're tuning in. Let me know where you're coming in from. We'd love to shout you out here while we're live. And then I do gotta tell you, we have a giveaway today. Today we're gonna be giving away a sublimation pack live on Facebook and on YouTube. So one giveaway for each stream. So we're gonna have 2 winners today. I'll give you more details in a little bit. There we go on Facebook. Teresa says hello. Robin, hello. Dietrich says hello. What is up, everybody? It's so good to have you guys here. Oh, there we go. Facebook's blowing up here. Okay, we have Olavia's mommy, Kristen, Lucy, Joseph, D, Becky, Raylyn, Porgy Town, that's a fun name, Kirk, Karina, Shiloh, Joseph. Very cool. Oh, and by the way, where are you tuning in from? We got shout outs from Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Ohio, Minnesota, Miami, Tanasket, I don't know how to say that, but Washington. What's up? We're international today. Got our friend Joseph from Trinidad and Tobago. Very, very cool. Patricia's listening from Virginia Beach. Nice. Kentucky. Miss Joyce, Barbara, Emily, Jorge, Shiloh. Let's see. Wow, everybody's tuning in. We got Lucy from Bakersfield. Simply Inspired. You're my friend automatically because you're coming in from San Diego. Very cool. Very cool. Shiloh says, I'm Northern Illinois, not Chicago. Dude, that's funny. When we tell people where we're from, I usually say LA. Unless, because most people don't know like all the small little suburbs, but that's funny. Not Chicago. That cracks me up. Anyways, it's so good to have everybody on the stream today. So today we're talking all about a brand, and I say a brand, it's technically 2 brands, but we're talking all about a brand that is super duper underrated. Now, as you see here, I have a few projects that we did off camera, but don't worry, we have some live demos coming up in a minute. So while we show you how these finished products were pressed, let me tell you a little bit about Chromaluxe and Unisub. So these are actually the exact same brand, or I should say they're under the same parent company. They're like sister brands, or brother brands, or cousin brands, or however you want to look at it. And as you can see here, by the way, I have an SG-1000 in the next room, and of course you know that I had to make a gang sheet. I had to use the big 13 by 19 inch sheets. You don't have to. With the exception of like 2 pieces, you could do anything on an SG-500 today. But really quick, so back to Unisub and Chromaluxe. So these products are super high quality. They're made in the USA. And one thing I love about the coating and the product itself is that it's gallery quality. So right here, now this is one that I did off camera. This is huge. This is a 12-inch by 18-inch print right here. We weren't able to get this one on camera because I just did this. But Chromaluxe, they sell the large format panels. So if you've ever been to like a museum or an art gallery or any like situation where you've seen these huge aluminum photo panels that have been printed on, the likelihood is those were printed using Chromaluxe panels. The coating and the materials that Chromaluxe uses for their products are like superb. You get amazing quality finished results in them. And so what I love about that is that same coating that they use, I'm not exaggerating, for museums, for art galleries, that's what they're putting on their small panels, on their smaller ones that we carry here at Heat Press Nation. Now that same coating is used by Unisub. Now the 2 brands, Chromaluxe is gonna be usually for photo panels almost exclusively. So if you're looking at a Chromaluxe product on our site, or if you're looking for a photo panel that you wanna sublimate, you're gonna be looking at the Chromaluxe brand. Almost everything else, as far as like hard substrates, like this is actually a bag tag, but we use it as an ID tag. Those are all gonna be the Unisub brand. Unisub is gonna be mostly like fiber reinforced plastic, which is plastic that could withstand the heat press. We have some wood photo panels that you see here on screen. We have some awards plaques, some license plates. So all of these are gonna be, everything that you're seeing here today is gonna be from either Chromaluxe or Unisub brands. We really wanted to spotlight these brands because again, they're made in the USA, top quality. It does not get better. And I feel like it's super underrated, and I feel like people who have sublimation equipment really need to be looking at Chromaluxe and Unisub. So I'm gonna check back in. If you guys have any questions about what we're doing today, please feel free to put it in the chat. Karina says, yeah, I just got my large format sawgrass adapter. Yes, that's exactly what I used for these projects today. Suzanne says, man, I have missed you. Aw, you're so sweet, thank you. I miss being live, by the way. This is only like our 2nd or 3rd live of the year, or maybe 4th. But yeah, I definitely do miss you guys too. I miss being live. Shiloh's adding, I absolutely love Unisub and Chromaluxe. Very cool. All right, let me go ahead and let's see if anybody's saying anything on Facebook here. I'm just kind of doubling back over here. We got Phoenix tuning in here. There we go, nice. Yeah, so as you guys saw there on camera, the process that I like to simplify it. So sublimation, I like to say it's the 4 Ps. You print, you prep, you press, and you peel. So as you guys saw on camera there, we printed a heat tape to fix your transfers in place on your, fix your substrate in place on the transfer. I get my words mixed up sometimes. And then you press it, which of course goes in the heat press, and you peel it. Now for thinner items, like these aluminum Christmas ornaments that we have here, you could usually peel it instantly, but sometimes we want to wait a little bit, especially if you're doing like ceramics, maybe a wood panel, or anything that's gonna retain heat significantly. Again, usually ceramics, you may want to wait just a few seconds. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive into our live demonstration. Now, as you saw, I already off camera, or I should say in the recording, we did these cool name badges. Now, these are actually bag tags. These are originally intended to be used, you hang it off the outside of your luggage, and that way I've seen people use like big fluorescent tape on their luggage, hanging balloons from their luggage, but this is a really subtle and easy way to identify your bag. But what we've seen is people are using these as identification badges because there are some small businesses that want to have ID tags, but they don't have the order volume to order from some of the larger badge manufacturers. So if you have a sublimation printer, you could offer them 1, 2, 10, and they're very durable because it's sublimation. And then of course we have these keychains here, which these are awesome. You probably can't read it, but it says, I'm not, oh, can we? There we go. No, this is so tiny, you probably can't read it. But anyways, it says, I'm not like a regular mom, I'm a cool mom. I'll show it to the other camera probably when I get up there. And then we have these license plates. Now these are hecka cool. If you guys get the reference, you get 20 imaginary points. So this is from 1985 or 2015. And if you guys know the movie that I'm referencing, again, I love you. You get 20 imaginary points. But these license plates, they're aluminum. So this is the back side. They're only sublimatable on the front side. So these are aluminum. You can sublimate one side or the other side. Or no, I'm sorry. You can sublimate one side and then the back. Obviously, no one sees that because it gets mounted to something. These make incredible gifts. You could do really cool things with these sublimation license plates. Right here, this is a wood panel. And I wanted to show, well, you'll see this, we're gonna demo this live in a minute, but I wanted to show off this wood panel. If you know any photographers, or if you're looking for a new avenue of like to connect with like a new B2B, connection there, you wanna reach out to your wedding photographers, especially during the spring and summer seasons. Wedding photographers, they're always looking for different things to upsell to their clients. And a wedding photographer may not have a dedicated sublimation printer, and that's where you can come in and reach out to them. Of course, graduation season's right around the corner, and with that, a lot of schools like to make acknowledgments. So this looks like nothing right now, but this awards plaque is gonna look really cool once we sublimate that in a minute. And I know we're a long way from Christmas, but I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't tell you about Unisub's aluminum Christmas ornaments, because these are probably the easiest Christmas ornaments to sublimate, period. They gift so well, the margins are so good, you really wanna check it out. So let's go ahead and dive into this project today. So getting started, and again, if you have any questions at all, oh yes, before I keep going, I gotta tell you, we are having a giveaway today. We're gonna be giving away some sublimation blanks, really cool pack from Unisub, and you can check that out in a little bit. We're gonna be giving away live today. One winner is gonna be from our Facebook stream, one winner is gonna be from our YouTube stream, but you do have to be watching live in order to win, so don't go anywhere. Great question. April is asking, is there a special paper you have to use? A-Sub's still good to use. I'm gonna be honest, I've never personally used A-Sub, but I know enough people who have that I feel like it should work just fine. Here at Heat Press Nation, we carry text print sublimation paper. And so today, I believe everything I'm printing is using text print DT Lite, yes. So everything on camera you see here today, I use text print DT Lite personally, and then here at the office, that's what we're using today too. So yeah, I love DT Lite. Great question. So this was already answered in the chat. Shay is asking, where do you get the license plate designs? The orange one I made, the other one, the out of time one, I found that online somewhere. So yeah, that's where I got those ones. Let's see. Yeah, oh, good point. April says, need some sub blanks. Yeah, if you're looking for sublimation blanks, we carry Unisub and Chromaluxe here at Heat Press Nation, but we also have a huge selection of other products. So while today's spotlight is Unisub and Chromaluxe, if you need anything, coffee mugs, shot glasses, anything, head on over to heatpressnation.com, because in addition to these two awesome brands, we also have Sublecraft, which is just fantastic. So you definitely want to check that out, heatpressnation.com. Honey's tuning in from Las Vegas. Thank you so much. She says loves our product. Awesome. And yes, this is going to be recorded. So if you're watching right now on YouTube, once we're done live today, this video will live on YouTube. So you can always come back and catch up. So let me show you something today. And I seem to have, do you have scissors over there? Nope. Okay, no worries. So today I'm going to do things the ghetto way. I seem to have forgotten my scissors, but no worries. We're just going to score this really quick here. And score that. There we go. No biggie. No biggie at all. That is not the right way to do it, ladies and gentlemen. It's like magic. It's like magic. I say scissors. I actually feel really cool right now. Thank you, Ronnie. Ronnie brought me some scissors. So here's what we're gonna do. We already printed, right? And remember, the 4 Ps of sublimation. You print, you prep, you press, and you peel. So our first step is we are going to print. Now this has already been printed out, and you'll notice it is printed in reverse. Your eyes do not deceive you. The reason why it's printed in reverse is because we're gonna flip it over and put it face down on our substrate. And so when it is complete, it'll read correctly. Now, not all sublimation blanks will have a protective film. This one does. So this is, I forget the item number, but I believe if you're watching the replay, it'll be in our, the link will be in our description. But this is a Unisub awards plaque. This is the cherry finish. I believe these are all available in either cherry or black. So we peel off the protective film, exposing the white surface. Now with sublimation, you always want to be pressing onto white. That's just kind of the nature of sublimation because it's a CMYK process, so we have to have a white base. One thing you want to keep in mind when you're doing these awards plaque is keep the mounting holes in mind. If you're gonna make this a vertical print, oops, you want the top to be right here. And of course, if you're doing a horizontal print, oops, you need the top to be right here. So always keep the mounting holes in mind. Because this is gonna be a landscape or horizontal print, I need to make sure that this is the top. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press this face down. Now these awards plaque are very unique, and I'm pressing this one first because it's a little bit more difficult to align. When I press my wood panel, you're gonna see, because this has a plain edge, so much easier to align. So I'm doing the hard one first to show you guys. Usually what we'll do is we'll put it face down and center it that way. Because it has this extra edge right here, that's gonna be a little bit harder than usual. So what I've done is what I've noticed is if I'm in a well-lit area, the paper's a little see-through. I don't know if you're gonna catch it on camera, but if you're in a well-lit area, the paper is gonna be a little bit see-through. Make sure I'm at, okay. This is the top for me. So what I can do is I can place it over here and just kind of visually just scoot it over a little bit, and I'm just being very careful that my alignment is nice and centered. So what I'm doing is I'll show you guys. So what you could do is you could lift it up and you could see, okay, I gotta shift that here, I gotta shift that there, rotate it, lift it up, okay, and you could see by the edges right here if it's aligned or not. That's one way to do it. Another way is if you do wanna press it like this, you're just gonna kind of like get down in there and visually inspect it to make sure that it's centered. I'm not a big fan of that method. I like this way. So what I'll do is I'll just keep going, centering it like so, and then I'm gonna shift it over. I will say that these awards plaques, while they're not like incredibly difficult to press, because of the alignment challenge, they are gonna be just a little bit more, they're gonna I don't wanna say difficult, but they are gonna require a little bit more care than most other transfers. Once your alignment is set, what I'll do is I'll run my finger along the edge to kind of score it a little bit. And that's actually gonna give me a visual to where I could see, and again, because it's kind of see-through in a bright light, I can kind of see if that's something that I'm liking here. So now, I'm gonna get my 2 pieces of heat tape, one for each side, and I'm just gonna tape this in place right here. Tape that in place right there. There we go. And that's ready to press. So let's go on over to our heat press and let's press this bad boy. Actually, we're gonna go on over to our heat press right now. While I'm here, I'm gonna do 2 things here. I'm also gonna prep my, we're live. I'm also gonna prep my wood panel. Now, one thing you're gonna notice right now, this also has the protective film. This is gonna be so much easier. This is gonna be so much easier to align than my awards plaque. So sorry about that little slip up right there, we're live. Again, keep in mind the position of the top mounting holes. Now look how easy this is. And again, if you have any questions, put it in the chat. Don't worry, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just easily distracted. So I'm just gonna finish this and I'll get to the questions. So this is the top right of my print. This is the top mounting hole. And so check this out. because I don't have that extra edge to consider, I can just see it right here. And dude, this is so much easier. And so for this, what we're gonna do is on top and bottom, we're just gonna heat tape it in place, and that's gonna keep this transfer from shifting. You know, basically I've already centered it and made sure that it's positioned properly, and I just don't want it to move. So now 2 big pieces there, and then 2 just small little pieces right here, just to kind of keep it in place. There we go, and we're done. So as you can see, setting up one of these wood photo panels is just so much easier because it doesn't have that they call it the OG edge. I think that's how you say that word. And yeah, it's so much easier. So we're actually gonna take both of these over to the heat press. Let me show you how we do it. So now my heat press, I'm using the Signature Series. It's actually the Signature Pro 15-inch by 15-inch swing away heat press. I am a big fan of this heat press for sublimating thicker, rigid blanks. So now first things first, I do want to lay down a piece of parchment paper on my bottom plate. And we're gonna press the hard one first, or the more difficult one. We're gonna press our awards plaque. Whenever you're sublimating something, especially if it's kind of thick, you want it to be centered on the bottom platen. In fact, regardless of how thick it is, as a good practice, you want to be centered on the bottom platen. We're going to cover it with another sheet of parchment paper, and the reason why we sandwich everything between 2 sheets of parchment paper is because sublimation ink turns into a gas dye when you heat it up, and as it's getting pressed, sometimes that dye seeps out, and you just don't want it staining your heat press. So in this case, we may not see any gas seep out, but if we do, it's going to end up on our parchment, not on our heat press. Now, I'm using my Signature Pro, which means I have on the top here, I have what's called the Sure Pressure dial, and I know that for my thick awards plaque, I actually go down to right to 0, 385 degrees. Oh no, is it -9 or drop it just a little bit more? There we go. 385 degrees, 60 seconds on the clock. We have a medium to medium firm pressure. With sublimation, you're usually at around medium. In fact, medium firm may be just a little too much, but I believe it's gonna be okay for this graphic. So we're pressing here, 60 seconds on the clock, 385 degrees for 60 seconds. Honestly, I think I press 90% of my sublimation blanks at that temperature. If you ever get something, well, if you get it from Heat Press Nation, it'll come with instructions, or you should be able to find the instructions online. But if you're pressing like a random blank and you don't really know, you don't have any settings or instructions for it, try 385 degrees, 60 seconds, 385, 60. And that's usually a good way to go. We got about 6 seconds left here on our press. We're gonna go ahead and reveal this super cool awards plaque. Gonna open it up carefully, swing that out to the side. It looks like we got a good transfer on there. Now, usually when something is done transferring, I'll wait about 10, 20 seconds. But I think this is actually gonna be okay. And for this, what I'll do is I'll do a little tear right up the middle. There we go. And that should allow me, no. It's really hot, or is this part hot? Oh, this part's good. So here we go. Look at that. This is my certificate of depreciation. I made this for myself, actually. That's the cool thing about awards plaques is, I'm just gonna hold it, sorry. I'm like not in. That's the cool thing about awards plaques is you could make them for reals or for fakes. You could make awards plaques for fun. You could do a lot of things with them. Obviously, this is a fun one, my certificate of depreciation. And yeah, I thought that was really funny. So yeah, so this awards plaque, it came out great. The colors are fantastic on here. But now we're gonna do something a little bit different. Now we're gonna press our wood panel. So I'm gonna put this back on. Now, as you can see, there wasn't really a lot of outgassing, so I'm gonna recycle both sheets of parchment. If you ever get any ink on a sheet of parchment paper that you're using, just throw it away and get a new one. Trust me, it's not worth it. The 3 cents that you save, 2 cents that you save, recycling those. So I'm gonna cover this. Now, before I do, This is a different picture, but what's cool about these, oh, so sorry. What's cool about these wood photo panels is if you look really close, you could see the grain inside, and it's real wood. These make incredible wall or desk decorations, and this is exactly what I'm gonna be pressing right here. Now I do have to loosen up my pressure a little bit more for this because it's a little bit thicker than what we were pressing, but same time, same temperature. Oh, am I right side up? Yes. 385 degrees, 60 seconds. And there we go. We are pressing. There we go. Oh, you know, let me see what questions are coming in while we press. So sorry, I've been neglecting the comments here. Christine Smith says, it's a major award. Yep, yes it is. Roy says, made several prank awards. I love that. Allison says, looks fabulous. Well, thank you very much. Honey says, such a great idea. You made my day with this award plaque already for my staff. That's awesome. Yes, give it away to let your staff know. Very cool. Thank you. Oh, it looks like you guys are digging it. Thank you guys so much. Someone said they're under tornado warning. Holy cow, guys, please be safe. I pray you guys are just keeping it safe over there. Okay, and that's our time. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up here carefully. And so again, if we're talking the 4 P's of sublimation, print, prep, press, and peel, that was our press, and this is our peel. And again, usually, and this is just my personal practice, I'll wait like 15 to 20 seconds, sometimes longer, before I peel like a photo panel. I highly recommend it, but since we're live, I'm just gonna go ahead and peel it now. Ooh, that is hot. I don't know why I touched that. Here we go. Now, I'm gonna show you something interesting that I like about this picture and why I think this picture presents so well on the wood photo panel. Let me see if I can scoot it up a little bit. So there's a lot of empty space up here. In the original graphic, that's white. But as you guys know, in a CMYK printer, white will print blank. Well, what I love about that is it actually shows the wood grain. So this upper section, I'm gonna get a little closer here. This upper section of the photo, if I was printing this onto something else, it would just appear white or very, very light gray because of like, you know, the sky and the clouds. But on this, because it's on a wood panel, you could see the wood grains, and I don't know, I just think that's really, really cool. I mean, obviously I love this picture because it's me and my wife, in case you didn't recognize that handsome guy there. But yes, me and my beautiful wife on our wedding day, and so if you're using these wood photo panels, and if you could find a picture where the sky or something is very, very light colored, those light colors are really gonna show off the wood grain, and I think that's just a really cool way to display photos like this. Now, because we're live and because we are 100% real, I'm gonna show you something. I wanna say I should have, because there's a lot of like ink coverage over here, I wanna say I should have pressed this for an additional maybe 15 to 30 seconds at a lower temperature, because there's a small part here that didn't get fully exposed to the heat. I don't know if you could see that. It looks like a little bit of cloudy. Anytime you guys are seeing a little bit of cloudy, that means that that area didn't get heated up properly. Now there's a few things that in hindsight I probably should have corrected. This photo panel was very cool, almost cold when I brought it in. 60 seconds isn't a very long time, especially to heat up a thick, look how thick this is. It's like 3/8 of an inch thick plywood right there. Not plywood, I'm sorry, it's 3/8 inches. This is solid wood, by the way. So yeah, maybe I should have pressed it a little bit longer. That's what I get for using 385/60 for everything. But hey, my loss, your gain. Now you guys know a little bit more about how to correct issues with photo panels. So let's go back over to the desk. We do have a few more demos that we're gonna be showing off today, some smaller items that are coming in from Unisub, from Chromaluxe. But let me go ahead and get to your guys' questions really quick here. Robin says, makes great gifts. Yes, okay, seriously, these really do make great gifts. April says, so nice, these make great memorabilia. Yep. Jacqueline says, I see the wood grain so neat. Yeah, I love how it came out. April, thank you. Oh, good, you guys. Bob Donnelly, you know what? If it's okay with you, I'm gonna steal that. Bob Donnelly says, the 5 Ps. Don't forget profit. Yes, yes. Oh, I absolutely love that. Super cool. Yeah, so I'm just gonna kind of go back over. It's a little warm. That's fine. Yeah, so big fan of this wood photo panel. And you have two. So this is our engagement picture. This is one of our wedding pictures. So yeah, if you're into giving gifts, you could do a series, or I should say you should market them as a pack. Like if you're selling these to your customers, market it as a pack and be ready to have samples to prepare in a pack or in a theme. For thinking about me right now, like I should probably, if I was gonna sell these in a pack of 3, I would have a third one with my son, right? So you show the natural progression, like, hey, and what that does is it gets your customers thinking about 3s in their mind, like, oh, I could think of 3 pictures I would like to have like permanently etched into this wood. So that's really cool. That's something that you can do for your marketing. Is just be sure you communicate with your customers. Remove that there. I'll be sure you're communicating with your customers, like help them to see it and help them to imagine it in their mind so they could want it, so you could sell it. I love that. Bob said the 5 P's, profit. Don't forget profit. So really quick, just to kind of recap, we did these on camera, these like name badges. I love these. We're gonna show these off right here. This is for my friend Art Vandelay. He, yeah, for his company, Penske Filing. Yeah, a lot of references in today's episode. So these are really cool. These are actually the same one. Sorry, same badge. I just made 2 of them. So yeah, these are really cool. Again, these are bag tags, but we're seeing a lot of our customers use them for ID badges, which they work perfect for. Off camera, we also did these cool keychains. Actually, here's another keychain. And these keychains, by the way, they do come with the keychain ring and plastic attachment. So these are ready to sell or ready to profit, as my pal showed us here. And then this is the certificate of depreciation. And you can't read it here, but there's a special word. It says, hit rock bottom and kept digging, which I thought was really funny. Yeah, so you could use it for fun or for realsies. These are very cool. And just to kind of give you some scale, you're seeing all these cool things here. This is massive. This is a 12 by 18 inch. I don't think it's gonna fit in this shot. This is a 12 by 18 inch aluminum photo panel. When I compare it to the size, you'll see how just massive it is. If you have the Sawgrass SG-1000 with the bypass tray and you have that 13 by 19 inch paper, this is what you're making with it. A lot of people say, hey, why would I even need that 13 by 19 inch bypass tray, multi-bypass tray? To do big 12 by 18 prints like this. Our marketing director, he took this picture at one of his trips to Disneyland, and now we have it permanently on this panel. So it's really cool. And okay, so next up, really quick, this is gonna be our last project for today. I'm gonna show you guys how we make Christmas ornaments. And you might be thinking, Christmas ornaments, bro, we just finished Easter, for goodness sake. Well, hey, we want you guys to be prepared. So I'm gonna show you guys really quick how we do Christmas ornaments. And really, this is something to keep in mind for the Christmas season, but I'll tell you this, the companies that are more prepared, that are better prepared, are the ones that better profit come holiday season. So if you wanna be making money this holiday season, maybe not yet, because yes, I do agree it's barely March, but seriously, with that exaggeration, by July or August, start thinking about what you're gonna sell, start getting your artwork ready, your marketing materials, that way you can start selling legit, like day after Halloween. Time goes so fast. So when you're pressing both sides of these really cool ornaments, and they do come with these cool like red satin ribbons to hang it, by the way. When you're pressing these double-sided ornaments and you wanna press both sides at one time, here's a little trick that I do. It's called the envelope method. And what I'll do is I'll hold this up to the light so it's kind of see-through, and then I'll fold it back over so that way both prints line up perfectly over each other. So I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna try to, sorry, you won't be able to see this because I have to hold it up to the light in my room. Let me see here. Again, sorry. I'm trying to line it up. This is the part where it's like, yes, you do have to be pretty precise. There we go. And then let me do this really cute corgi. So what all I'm doing is I'm just like holding it up to the light so I could see the edge, and I'm just lining the two prints directly over each other when I fold it. There we go. There we go. So now this next part, I actually finished these on the heat press. I'm gonna head over to the heat press right now, but to give you a preview, because it may not show right over there, all you do is you line it up over and you place it like that. There's no heat tape involved when you're pressing both sides. Now, as a heads up, as a warning, you gotta be very careful when you're doing this, because if anything shifts or slips after you're placing it or before you peel it, you're gonna be a little bit more prone to getting the edges cut off or to ghosting. So just a heads up, if you do decide to do the double-sided method or the envelope method, as we like to call it, just heads up on that. Really quick, I'm gonna check in on the comments, and then we're gonna go press these. This is our last project, and then we have a giveaway today. It's gonna be so fun. We're giving away a pack of Unisub sublimation blanks on our Facebook stream and on our YouTube stream. So on each stream, we're gonna have one winner, two winners today. Be sure you're staying tuned for that. Evelyn says it's a sunny 82 there in SC. The rain finally broke. It rained yesterday for Easter, but we finally got a break out here. Luana says, did you do 365 for 60 on the metal one too? No, so for this metal blank, I did, and actually now you can see it. I have a gigantic head, and this thing is like 2-3 times the size of my head. For this gigantic blank, I still did 385, 60 on that blank. Great question. Shanti says, sorry, I missed what printer you are using for sublimation. Oh, today everything that we did was using the Sawgrass SG-1000 sublimation printer with the Sublimation ink. Now, I will say this. The only machine, these products, right, this big panel and this big wooden photo panel, these two panels are the only things that I really needed the SG-1000 for. Everything else that I did today, like this photo panel, and they fell off my desk, but I had these license plates. Those were also done, or can be done, on an SG-500. So everything else you see here, these tags, everything else can definitely be done on a 500. Just wanted to say that. Let's see, any other questions here? Boop, 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 boop. April's asking, so do the prints come out darker on wood? That is a great question, and yes, they do. Because the wood provides a much darker base than plain white, you'll notice that this is pretty dark toned. You can either edit in Photoshop, like the brightness of your graphic, if you want to kind of compensate for that. But yes, because the wood, and this is like the color of the wood before you print on it, even though it seems really light, it's much darker than pure white. So yes, things will come out a little bit darker. You can compensate in Photoshop if you want to. But yes, to answer your question. Let's see here. Okay, real quick, I'm gonna double check. I have a bad habit of missing some of the comments, so I'm going through. I just wanna make sure I answer everybody's questions. Mark says, can you solder the panels together to make a box? Dude, that is a great question. I don't see why not, but I'm not a metal worker. They're aluminum. So these panels right here, these are aluminum photo panels. So if you could solder aluminum, I don't see why not, but please, I'll leave that up to your own testing. But yeah, that's a really cool idea. T3 says, I can't ever get the bottom to sublimate when I do both sides at the same time. You know what you could do is you could lower your temperature and increase your time. Typically the side that is touching the heating element will get a little bit more cooked than the other side. And we're using the same graphic on both sides in this sample. So right now you'll see exactly how that looks. But if it's a significant difference, I would lower your temperature and increase your time. Maybe go down to like 365 for 70 seconds, 80 seconds. That's something that you'd want to experiment with. But I'll show you how it looks 385, 60 on my press in just a moment. Anna says, could you paint the wood white? Yes, you could, but you'll want to use a paint, or you'll want to coat the paint with like a polyurethane coating, because sublimation dye doesn't bond to just anything. Sublimation dye has to bond with a poly coating. And these wood panels, these are the ones that we sell here at Heat Press Nation. They're already sanded perfectly smooth, and they have that special polymer coating on there to receive that dye. So if you are going to use a paint, to paint over it. I mean, you would be hiding the wood grain, so I feel like you'd be kind of missing out. I suppose in theory you could, but you'd also want to give it an additional top coat of some sort of polyurethane, or use a poly-based paint, but you want to give it some sort of poly coating so it could receive that sublimation dye. Shirley's asking, I joined late, do you need to laminate the wood first? No, so these are wood blanks that we carry here at Heat Press Nation, and they're specifically designed for the process. So at the manufacturing level, Unisub, they apply their amazing sublimation coating, allows you to get high resolution prints on these wood panels. And these are seriously some of the smoothest wood pieces that I have ever felt. So they do an amazing job planing them out, making sure they're beautiful, making sure they're not gonna warp under the heat. So I've heard people say, well, can I just make my own? And I'm like, yeah, not this good. Not this good at all. Christina says, do you have to use the heating pad when pressing the aluminum panel? No, so I put the aluminum panel just straight on the heat press. Some people do like pressing it face down and they add like an extra 15, 20 seconds. I pressed this one face up and it came out just fine. LM is saying, what type of backings do you have available for framing or propping up? So these wood panels have like the little keyhole in the back, so you could mount it. For these wooden photo panels, these come with just a plain back. Sorry, I'm doing one hand here. So we have different attachments we have for mounting these to the wall, but you can kind of do your own thing if you want to. I've seen some people add magnets to the back, and they'll just hang these cool panels on their fridge. So really, any sort of like photo mounting tools that you can get, those will work on the aluminum panels, but we do sell a few available. Wanda's asking, what paper do you use? We use TexPrint DT Light for all of today's transfers. And honestly, like 90% of the things that you see on our YouTube channel, it's TexPrint DT Light. Let me see. How thick is the aluminum on the trees? On the trees. Oh, on the trees, the tree ornaments. I'm like, trees, duh. You know what, the exact number is listed on our website. So if you go to heatpressnation.com and you look up these aluminum ornaments, I would say it's like a 1/16 of an inch, just guessing, but if you want the exact measurement, that's available. But I will say this, Chromaluxe uses, because Unisub and Chromaluxe are the same brand, this gallery quality aluminum and coating, that's exactly what you're gonna find on the Unisub ornaments. So Unisub and Chromaluxe are the same brand, but Chromaluxe is gonna be their kind of gallery quality photo panels, and everything else is gonna be their Unisub brand, but they're the exact same company, same coating, same aluminum, and these are, yes, as suspected, the exact same thickness, which I will guess and say it's 1/16 of an inch, but please, you can go on over to heatpressnation.com and find that exact measurement. Great questions coming in today. Do we offer an adhesive spray? Shiloh was asking. We offer an adhesive spray for garments. It's called Eco Mist, and it's designed to not leave a sticky residue after you heat press it. If you go to your hardware store and buy a regular adhesive spray, no matter what you do to it, it's gonna stay sticky, which is a bad thing. You don't want your shirts to be all sticky, right? So if you're looking for an adhesive spray that's gonna lose its tack after you heat press it, go to heatpressnation.com. It's called Eco Mist. That's the adhesive spray we carry, and I've used it for everything from sublimation t-shirts. I've used it for photo panels. It's great. You just use a very light spray, and then it just kind of tacks it in place. I love it. Adam is saying, what's the best time and temp for a license plate? For everything that I used today, I've been pressing at 385 degrees Fahrenheit for 60 seconds. That did bite me on the butt for this wood photo panel, but think about it. Look how thick this is. This is gonna take longer to heat up than a thin aluminum panel. So I should have adjusted my settings for this photo panel, and I didn't. So that's why it didn't come out as perfect as the other ones. So, just keep in mind, honestly, when you're buying a sublimation blank, if you're buying from Heat Press Nation, in the product description, it'll tell you what you should be pressing it at. If you forget or you lose internet access, 385/60 works for a lot of things. Let's see. Catherine, I'm so sorry, we don't have sample bundles available for our products, but a lot of these are available in very small quantities. Oh, yes. So, sorry, I have one more live demonstration to do, and then we're gonna be giving stuff away. I am giving away today 2 Unisub sublimation packs, one on our Facebook stream, one on our YouTube channel. So be sure you stick around just another few minutes. Actually, let's go ahead and head on over there. We're gonna go ahead and get to pressing. I'm just gonna do one final check. Again, I always forget to check the comments, and so that's why I'm really wanna take the time, make sure I get all of you guys' questions in here today. Alrighty. Jacqueline's asking, do you spray the shirt or the print with that? Oh, great question. Yeah, when using a sublimation adhesive, or sorry, when using a spray adhesive, I usually spray the print. I usually don't spray the substrate. So you spray the print. You just want to be very careful when you're doing that so you don't overspray it to where like you get thick droplets, because that'll kind of cause the ink to bleed. Just a very, very light misting. Okay, so I have my heart ornament, I have my tree ornament. Let's head over to the heat press and get these pressed. Okay, so we're using the envelope method to press both of these at the same time. So the way that works is, and I showed this a few minutes ago, but the way that works is I've aligned these so when I fold them over, the prints match perfectly over each other. So that means that if I align my bottom, and I'll do it right here so you guys can see a little better. So if I align this right here on bottom, there we go. When I fold it over, right, and what I do is I'll put my finger to kind of crease around the edge. When I fold it over, both sides should be aligned perfectly. So I'm gonna carefully move that right here. And here's the thing, and I'll warn you guys, you want to be very careful that these stay in place after you line them up. It's easy for them to become misaligned. So I just want to give you a heads up on that. Now this is our Christmas tree ornament. I'm lining that up here, centering that on the bottom. And then again, when I fold this over, I'm going to run my finger over it just to make sure that the top part is aligned as well. When I fold that over, it should be aligned because both images are centered over each other, so now both transfers should be centered. Those should be good, and I keep saying should, and the reason for that is because with this, you gotta be very careful. We're not using any heat tape to secure the aligned position, so I have a lot of practice, which is really what I'm relying on today. Now, I was pressing something pretty thick, so I have to increase my pressure just a bit. And it's a little too loose. A little too loose. What was my setting? I wish I would remember this. I think it's 60, right? There we go. Okay, so 385 degrees, 60 seconds. Now, somebody was asking a little bit earlier, like the bottom when they do this method, the bottom always looks different than the top. And that's because the top is getting all the heat, and the heat that passes through to the bottom is what's heating up the bottom image. So yeah, it would make sense. The top is getting more heat, so it's gonna cook a little bit more. Solution to that, what I would recommend, you are gonna have to experiment a bit, but I would say lower your temperature and increase your time. That way they can just even out a little bit more. All right, we have about 25 seconds left. Once these are done, I'm gonna show everything off, and then we are gonna give something away. I do have a giveaway for you guys today. Have some really cool sublimation blanks from Unisub that are gonna be given away in just a few moments. We're gonna be giving away live, one on Facebook, one on YouTube. So be sure to check that out in just a few moments. All right, 3 seconds left. We're gonna open these up. Now, when you're using the envelope method, you also want to be super careful when you open your press and when you remove them, the parchment, because there's no tape holding these in place, it's very easy for that transfer to shift. So what I'll do is I'll just kind of grab it and try to knock it out. See, I already messed it up. There we go. Just kind of scoop it up. There we go, knock it out. And check these out. These actually came out super good. So we have before I grab them and take them over to the table. So we're gonna give those a second, but those look pretty darn good. This is my Christmas tree shaped ornament. This is my heart shaped ornament. Unisub has a bunch of different are sublimatable, and as you can see, I pressed both sides at the same time. That's pretty hot, but I think they'll be okay once we get them over here. Okay, so much to show off. We still have a giveaway coming up in just a few moments, but that's gonna be our transfers for today. Doggone, that's really hot still. Okay. So just to kind of recap, now what you saw on camera today are these ornaments, which I'll show you in a second. Today live, we also pressed this wood photo panel. This is the Unisub 10-inch by 10-inch photo panel. This is one product that you would need a large printer for, like the SG-1000. Off camera, I did press this huge 12 by 18-inch aluminum photo panel, which camera doesn't do it justice. It's glossy, it's beautiful, it looks great, and it's high resolution. So really, really great way to display your photos. So those two are probably the only things you would actually need an SG-1000 for. Everything else today, you could get it done on an SG-500, like this really cool certificate of depreciation, this awards plaque that we did. Also, because the SG-500 can print 8.5 by 14, you could definitely get these full-size license plates customized with your SG-500. Very cool. Props if you guys know the movie reference that those are from. Sorry, that was off camera today. What else did we do on camera? I think it was just these on camera. Yeah, and then off camera, or what you're seeing right here, is we have these cool keychains that are getting done. We have these cool bag tags that are getting done. We're actually using these bag tags as identification tags. So just really cool stuff. Everything that you're seeing here today is from Unisub or Chromaluxe, which are actually the same brand. They use the same top quality coating. They're both made here in the USA, and they're both available at heatpressnation.com. And I gotta tell you, Unisub and Chromaluxe, I would say are super underrated because of the quality of the blanks. They're really, honestly, they're really, really something. And then here we go. These are finally cool enough to touch. These ornaments, they do come with the satin ribbon. And your customers are gonna love that, by the way. When you're shipping them, honestly, I don't tie them off. I let my customers tie them however they want, but I do ship it with the red ribbon already through the hole. And this, I'm gonna have to just give you an honest review because I don't know if the camera's close enough to see any color difference. But personally, I don't see any color difference on either side. They both look really, and I promise you, I'm looking really close. I'm trying to see it. I'm sure there is one. See, here's the thing. I'm not gonna lie to you and say, oh, it's perfect on both sides. No, usually when you're printing both sides at the same time, whatever side is touching the plate, the hot plate, is gonna get a little bit more heat and it's gonna cook a little bit more than the bottom side. But because this aluminum is pretty thin and it conducts heat pretty well, the difference is minimal. I'm looking at it super close here on my side and I don't see a difference. Let me look at, now this other image has a little bit more color, the corgi that we took a picture of. Well, I didn't take the picture. I borrowed it from Shutterstock because I couldn't find, oh no, Pexels, because I couldn't find a good picture of a dog. Okay, so looking here, the colors look identical to me. I promise you, I'm really trying to look at the difference. I think I could spot the difference here, but I'm really, really close to it. I think this side is the front, and I think this side is the bottom, or this side is the top, this side's the bottom. But truth be told, I mean, I don't know, I might be over it. I might just be looking at it too hard or imagining things. But the average person, or no, sorry, not even the average person, I would say 95, 99% of people would not be able to spot the difference. That's how close the colors are. So yeah, that's just me, my press. That's the signature. I use the Signature Series 15 by 15. You might be getting different results with a different machine. I couldn't honestly tell you. So really quick, let me shut this off, doggone. All right, let me go ahead and go through the last round of questions, and then we're gonna be giving away a Unisub pack of Sublimation Photo Panels. One free pack. I'm gonna have one winner on Facebook and one winner on YouTube. You're welcome to enter on either stream if you want to. We're gonna give you that information in just a second. Doggone, I need to put that on silent mode. All righty. Okay, so going through the questions. I'm on Facebook right now, going through the Facebook questions, and then I'm gonna hop over to YouTube. Okay, let's see. Ruth is saying, is that color or black and white? If you're referring to this, this is a color photo, but because our photographer kind of edited it to be a little bit like more monotone. Like it's not a super vibrant picture, but it is a color photo. But and then also since it's over a dark, like because it's over a wood color like that tan color, you do lose a little bit of color definition as well. Okay. Scott is asking, can't find that one, the 12 by 18. Yeah, so if you're on heatpressnation.com, under sublimation blanks, just look for Chromaluxe. Yeah, Chromaluxe is the brand. If you sort through all the different Chromaluxe ones, they usually go, if you go order by price, it's one of the more expensive ones because it's bigger. So that might be how you could find it. Elisa says, I want the bag tags. Yes, these work great for ID badges. And then for Halloween, my wife and I went as park rangers, as Jurassic Park park rangers, and my son, we dressed him up as a dinosaur. And so I made us Jurassic Park Ranger like ID tags for Halloween. So there's a lot of applications for these bag tags. They're super cool. Ruth says, I love my heat press from you guys. Thank you. That's so good to hear. Thank you, Ruth. All righty. Robin says, great Christmas ideas and quick to make. Yes, that's what I love about it. So if you already have your template open for these, you just drop your customers' pictures into the template, send it to print. It's just a few minutes. And the margins on there are really nice. Oh, great question. Carol's asking, if I sublimate a wind spinner, should I press both sides at once? If I do separately, will the first side get lighter? Thank you. Personally, I would press a wind spinner both sides at the same time if you could line up the graphics. Now, if you're not pressing both sides at the same time, what I would do is wait for it to completely cool, like completely cool before you flip it and press the other side. And then, yeah, that's what I would recommend. Just wait for it to completely cool before you flip it and press it. Just because for wind spinners, because they're so much bigger, it's gonna be harder to align the graphics without using heat tape. So yeah, that's up to you. If you figure out a way to do it, go for it. I'm not gonna discourage you from it, but I just want you to have a heads up on what's gonna be required. Let's see. Lisa says, could you take a heat gun and put some extra heat on the back of the tree emblem to help with the color saturation, or is that not a good idea? You know, I haven't tried it, although I don't imagine it would work because the ink is already off the page and on to the graphic. So instead of releasing more ink into the substrate, you're just gonna overcook what's already back there. And the problem with that is as you overcook ink, it actually does burn. In fact, if you've ever had black ink on a substrate that turns brown, that browning is because it's overcooked. So because of that, I probably wouldn't try that. I would probably just lower my temperature and increase my time and hope to strike a better balance between the front and the back. Let's see, okay, so that is Facebook, and let me get over to YouTube really quick, see if we have any questions here that I am needing to get to. Okay. Christina says, do you use a different type of ink? So for everything that we press here at Heat Press Nation, we use Sawgrass sublimation ink. We use the Sublimation ink. So Sawgrass printers with Sublimation ink exclusively. That's all we use here at Heat Press Nation. Luana says, I hate when I get fade marks. Yeah, so fade marks can come, well, so I don't know if you can see it here. Right here on the side, there's a small little fading or cloudy mark right here. And that's because I think I went too hot, too fast on this one. Because this is a thicker substrate, I probably should have lowered my temperature and increased my time. I didn't do that today, and I kind of paid the price for it. Becky says, do you have to add items when pressing, do you have to add time when pressing two items? It depends on the items. If I was pressing two small items like this, like these tags, I wouldn't add any time. If I was pressing 10 of these, I would add a few extra seconds. But for this, like let's say I was pressing 2 of these, because this is thicker and bigger, yes, I would increase time for 2 of them. If this presses at 60 seconds, I'd probably up at least 10 seconds if I'm pressing 2 of them. Yeah, it just kind of depends on what you're pressing. Here we go. Yolanda says, this is my first live. Oh, very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Let's see, Christine says, I hear your customer service is spectacular. You know what? I appreciate that setup. No, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I will say this though, if you go on over, if you look us up on Google, we have over 2,000 reviews and we have like a 4.9 star average, 4.9 out of 5. And that's really hard to do in this day and age. So we're really, really proud of that. We definitely do our best. I'm not gonna say we're perfect. We make mistakes. In fact, I did a reel the other day on how we kind of messed up. But I'll say this, we do our absolute best to make sure our customers are satisfied. Just if you have any questions about an order ever, give us a call, 800-215-0894, and we will do our very, very best to make sure that you're taken care of. Let's see here. Oh, Jennifer, thank you so much. Google says, I did not know ink would burn like that. Yes, it's very possible to burn your ink. Okay, a few more questions, then we're gonna go to our giveaway. What is the lowest temperature you have used? I wanna say the lowest I've ever pressed was at 250, but I had to extend my time significantly. And that was for it was for a trucker hat that I was pressing that was really heat sensitive. And so I got it done, but I ended up going like 250 for like 90 seconds, which for a garment is pretty long. D is asking, can you give me the printer model again? Yes. So today I actually used the SG1000. You can find that at heatpressnation.com. But all the smaller items, you could get it done with the smaller printer, which is the SG500. Okay, it looks like that's all the I'm so sorry if I forgot somebody's question. Lots of questions coming in here today. And Rachel says, will the image on the license plate go bad with the sun? Yes, it will over time. So we do have, not us, I'm sorry, we don't carry them at the moment. There are some sublimation blanks which have a special UV coating that makes them resistant to the UV rays. These do not have that coating. So most of the blanks you see here are not designed for exterior use. So because of that, if this were to be in direct sunlight, it could fade depending on your climate, depending on how much direct sunlight. I wouldn't expect it to last more than a year. If you're in Arizona and this thing is just parked in the sun, probably less. If you're in a cooler state or it's put somewhere where there's at least shade half of the day, it'll be significantly more. So it just really depends on your climate. But if this was, let's just say this was put on your golf cart, right? And the golf cart is parked outdoors, I wouldn't anticipate this lasting more than a year without, significantly fading. But you might be surprised. You might get twice that. Again, just really depends on the climate. But these are pretty affordable, so it's not that hard to replace them. Of course, you could also, maybe try like a UV laminate over it to preserve the ink on there. But on their own, no, they are not UV coated. Great question. Let's see. Going through. I just want to make sure I'm getting everybody's questions here. It looks like that is it. Lizzie says you'll get your money's worth though. Yes, that's for sure. And then Lorenzo says laminate. Your license plate helps a lot. Yep. Yeah, laminate would be great. Very cool. Tatiana's asking, in the wood square, are there smaller ones or are they all this size? Oh, we do have multiple sizes available. There are smaller ones. I just happen to have some extra 10 by 10, so that's why I use this one today. But we definitely do have smaller ones. Great question. Christina's asking, would I recommend using a UV after coating for outdoor use? 100%. So because these are not intended for outdoor use, if you wanted to use them outdoors, yes, 100%. Find a good UV coating that you could spray. I don't have a personal recommendation for that because I haven't tried it yet. But if that's what you want to do, that's what I would recommend. Okay, great questions. Oh, dude, Adam, beautiful insight. Okay, so Adam OH says, preheat your plate before pressing a double print. That is genius, yes. So what he means by that is if you're pressing a double print, like how we did these ornaments today, and you know what, that might be why these came out so even. He's saying preheat your lower platen. Now because I had already pressed a handful of items, by the time I got to these, my bottom platen was already hot, which would have provided extra heat for the bottom, which is probably why these came out looking so darn good. So I didn't even realize that. So thank you so much to Adam for that insight. That makes perfect sense. And yes, I would for sure recommend doing that. If you're gonna press both sides, preheat the lower platen. I would say go at least 30 to 60 seconds preheating the lower platen, and then bombs away. Because these came out great, and I was actually kind of wondering myself, I was like, dude, how do these look so perfect? But yes, that makes total sense. My heat press I pressed a few things, so my bottom plate was already hot, which explains why the colors match so good on either side of these ornaments. Great. See, that's why I love you guys, man. You guys always have the good insight. Good stuff. Alrighty, so I'm ready to give away. Today we're gonna be giving away, I believe it's a 10-pack. Don't quote me on that. It's like either a 7 or a 10-pack. But we're giving away the 8x10 version of this photo panel. Now this is gigantic. This is 12x18. But we do also carry an 8x10 version. And the reason why we're giving away the 8x the reason why we're giving away the 8x10 is because that fits. If you have the Sawgrass SG500, you can fit that transfer on your 8.5 by 11 inch paper. So today we're going to be giving away a pack of 8x10 Chromaluxe photo panels, one giveaway on YouTube, one on Facebook. I'm going to start on Facebook. So if you're watching on YouTube right now, keep your stream open, just open up a new tab, head over to Facebook. You're welcome to enter on either stream if you want to, and you could spam the comments as much as you want to. So do me a favor, if you're on Facebook right now, comment the hashtag sublimation. Comment the hashtag sublimation. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna scroll randomly today. So today we're going a little bit lo-fi, all right? I'm just gonna scroll randomly. I'm gonna pick a winner, and whoever I land on our Facebook stream first is gonna go ahead and win that pack. So go ahead, do me a favor, comment hashtag sublimation. I'm gonna give you guys about 30 seconds to go ahead and comment, and then I'm just gonna scroll randomly, and I'm just gonna randomly pick a winner for today. So there we go. I see it coming in. Hashtag sublimation, beautiful. Victoria says, what would be an ideal temperature? Depending on what you're pressing, everything that I pressed here today, I did press at 385 degrees for 60 seconds. That worked perfect for everything except this thick wood panel. So for that, we actually have instructions on our website. I would actually say go check those instructions. I imagine it's gonna be something like 365 degrees, 90 seconds, something like that. But check the instructions on there. Let's see. Okay, yep, I see them all coming in. I'm gonna give you guys a few more seconds to keep commenting. Just go right now on Facebook, hashtag sublimation, just comment. You could comment as many times as you want. I'm not gonna stop you from spamming us. Although be careful with this spam, because I got put in Instagram jail because I tried to add a comment and it timed out once or twice, but since I tried so many times, I'm currently locked out of Instagram right now. So be careful with your spam. All right, that's been enough time. So I'm gonna go ahead and just random scroll on Facebook. Let's see, and Shanti Callie, I'm gonna go ahead and like your, what did I do? Shanti Callie, I'm gonna go ahead and like your post if I can. There we go. Shanti Callie, I just liked your post. I'm gonna give you information on how to claim your prize. Do me a favor, email winner@heatpressnation.com. Winner@heatpressnation.com. All right, thank you so much, Facebook. YouTube, you're up. So if you're on YouTube right now, you guys, everybody on YouTube is already doing it. You guys got ahead of me. That's fine, I don't really care. I just love giving stuff away. So on YouTube, since everybody's already commenting, since you guys can't seem to wait, I'm just gonna give you guys like 20 seconds to comment. So if you're on YouTube right now, spam it up, hashtag sublimation. You know the drill. Let's spam it up, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give you guys another like 15 seconds or so. And then we'll go ahead and pick a winner. By the way, I'm giving away a Unisub. It's the 8x10, or I'm sorry, Chromaluxe. So not this one, this is gigantic. This is 12x18. But we do have a smaller 8x10 version that you can customize in your smaller desktop printer, like the SG500. So we're giving away, I believe it is a 10-pack. Don't quote me, it might be a 7-pack. But we're giving away our pack of those ones, the 8x10 inch Chromaluxe aluminum panels. They're beautiful. They sublimate so darn well, and I'm excited for you guys to get them and try them out. Okay, that's another jibber jabber from me. Let me go ahead and do my just random little doom scroll here. Oh, whoops, I scrolled out. I was too intense in my scroll. Okay, here we go, random. Okay, still in there, and, oh, wait, Patricia Quinto? It's still scrolling, but that's who I landed on. Everybody's still commenting. I think I might have mixed two names. Hold on, I'm trying to find you. Okay, you guys can stop commenting now because my feed keeps refreshing and I'm trying to find our winner. Hold on, where did she go? Patricia, you're in here. There it is, Condren. There it is, I found it. Patricia Condren, do me a favor, email us, winner@heatpressnation.com. That is Patricia, last name, or on your screen name, Condron. Yeah, do me a favor, email us, winner@heatpressnation.com. So thank you so much to everybody who played. If you didn't win, hey, you're not a loser, you're just a future winner, because we do have future live streams planned, and you know I can't go live without giving something away. So be sure to stay tuned. We'll be live, not next week. I want to say in the next few weeks we'll be coming live again. So just keep an eye out. Be sure you're following us on Instagram or Facebook, where we announce these lives in advance. And that way you could win and learn some cool stuff. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's gonna be it for me today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in, for joining us for today's special live stream episode. And yeah, you guys have a great week. Happy belated Easter. Adios. Become a Sublimation Master with the Sublimation Masterclass presented by Heat Press Nation. This online course contains over 8 hours of exclusive content packed with valuable information and zero fluff. In this masterclass, you're going to learn how to select the right equipment, receive thorough instruction on relevant products and processes, and gain valuable business insight. With your purchase, you'll have unlimited access to our exceptional lessons and demos, which are developed and curated by industry professionals with years of experience. This exclusive Sublimation Masterclass is available for $500, but is included for free with select Sawgrass printer bundles available at heatpressnation.com. For more information, visit heatpressnation.com/Sublimation Masterclass.